I stand on the shoulders of all the people that have been with me throughout the years. So I think the kind of energy, passion, skills, we have a very high quality of professionals within the organization, and just cannot underestimate the value of that. And everyone comes together with a common intent and is very much energized by our purpose, and that's what I love.
Yeah, I like the word embracing, and it reminds me of when something new comes up, it's easier to keep up than to catch up after. And I think what we did and what language professionals did was actually keep up. So it doesn't become a huge mystery that we have to learn or find out about. So that's how we pivoted, I would say.
Translation has changed a lot with the introduction of machine translation, AI, and natural language processing. So this has benefited translators in the sense that they get to work more efficiently. Translation has always been kind of a more remote industry, but I think that led to a lot more globalization, so that's led to an increased need for language services. With the advent of technology, changed the kind of content that needs to be translated as well, so things are more multimedia rather than just being traditional document translation. So language professionals have had to pivot and get used to different types of translation. They've had to get more creative with the translation types and also adapt to the technologies that help facilitate these translations as well.
We look at possible challenges, right? I mean, we look at immigration trends, we look at the influx of immigrants and refugees coming to the country. And one thing that really stood out to me is that here you are, a newcomer, in a brand new country, and you don't have to worry about that language barrier. You are informed about where you're going, where you're staying, what types of services you have access to, and you have so much support. So as the language services area evolves or develops, I think that we are poised to face the different challenges, different issues, and there are also tremendous opportunities. I mean, from that perspective, be able to implement change so that immigration policies can also be impacted, right? So I think that the opportunities are endless, and we're really not just focusing from a perspective of how do we provide the services, but we're taking a larger approach.
Migration and colonization, they have always shaped the language landscapes worldwide. Anytime that Canada will witness such a high influx of immigrants coming to the country and the language services companies, they're not ready and prepared to help, it's going to be so unfortunate for people that we bring in.
When I look to the future, there's a lot of advancements in technology going on, but I don't think it will ever replace the warmth of the human communication. The technology might make us really faster in terms of how we deliver the services, but not necessarily ever take them away.
As a social purpose organization, we have the responsibility, over and beyond anything, we have the responsibility to make sure that people are heard and understood. And we actually do that by giving them a voice. And giving them a voice means that we believe that language solutions is a human right. Everyone in this country, no matter where they come from, have the right to communicate openly with the system. They have to be able to have the necessary tools to try to this country. At the very end, I believe that language needs are always going to be there, no matter if we use humans or even technology.
Last year in 2023, Canada brought in 450,000 new immigrants that have settled. This year, they're forecasting for another 450, and next year, they believe it's going to be over 500,000. So within the span of 3 years, we've never seen this in the history of our country where we brought in 1.5 million people. So there's going to be much more demand for quality interpretation. Quality interpretation means you're going to have humans. They're the best. They're definitely going to help us in the courts. They're going to help us with legal. They're going to help us with education in the key segments we're involved with. But The other great thing about this is technology is going to take it a step further into our B2C channel, reaching out directly to consumers.
We're going to see the delivery of service be so much more accessible over the next few years, just with the rise of AI and technology and the accessibility to different apps and services that individuals will be able to have. So we're hoping that, of course, that B2B channel will still be essential and delivering that high quality service, but also it'll mean that a lot more individuals have that direct access to the language services as well. So we're really excited to see where technology and our business can go over the next few years.
So past couple of years were very turbulent in the language industry overall, and there were so many things that happened in the past few years. First of all, we had COVID-19 pandemic, and we literally had a few days to transition from in-person to a remote interpretation, and we did it very successfully. And then there's a rapid development of technology in the language industry. So I was really impressed how resilient, adaptable and strong our language professionals have been during this period of time. And one key to success is, instead of being afraid of challenges and changes, just embrace them. And now I can tell that MCIS is stronger than ever, thanks to amazing language professionals and customers that we have, and the future looks really bright.
The most impactful achievement of MCIS has been the creation of great leaders from among the newcomer population. Several of these folks had difficulty finding jobs in the Canadian market, and this was essentially their first job. And so they've all grown, and they are exceptional, each one of them. Also, for me, the language professionals who've come through, several of them work on a freelance basis, but the training that we've provided them has been a stepping stone for them to go on to build careers here. And so we provide references, we provide them exposure to the Canadian labour market, and we give them an opportunity to experience paid work, which they can then use to leverage to get jobs, which has been great. So we've been growing, we've been creating spaces where people can grow and thrive in a very tough labour market. I think that's one of the big impacts that we've made.
For me, I think that the biggest impact that I saw was actually the response to the Syrian refugees. When they came, there was people that were struggling, didn't know how to communicate, and I feel like that really kind of woke me up in terms of, wow, look what MCIS can do. And what I was really touched with is that not only do they help with the services that they provide, but it's also about just, they took on a family, helped out the family that was in need. The family had kids and they were struggling to find jobs, and MCIS just took that on as a, hey, you know what, we're just going to do this on the side. The free services that MCIS kind of stands for is a really big component of why people come and want to work at MCIS. I was speaking to a few of the individual staff members, and they said they were all touched when they do get those opportunities to provide free services, because it's not about just the money, it's about helping. And I think that is a big thing that impacts all of us on a daily basis to see that happen.